Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's the morning after me getting back from Ohio and the gathering, and I'm still trying to wake up, but this was a good chance for me to film kind of the intro to the footage I had for uh, for the gathering itself, because I'm planning on doing a separate video for when I was camping with Jeff and John and then at Jeff's property. But I just wanted to kind of talk about the trip real quick and just kind of show you some cool stuff that I got and uh, and just kind of go over some of this stuff and then show you some footage from the actual gathering itself. So let me kind of adjust some of this stuff and I'll get back to you. All right, so I try to make sure that I'm going to be able to go to the gathering, you know, every year now, and it's just so much fun. You get to experience things that you wouldn't experience if you were just to go camping on your own. As far as just all the different people and the amount of skills and knowledge that are there, and the amount of classes that you get for the fee for the 6 days or whatever, 5 days. It's unbelievable, and the fact that you're able to pick which classes you want, and you can kind of sort your day out based on a schedule they post the day before on the whiteboards. It's just awesome. I mean, you can learn how to do stuff that, for me at least, my interests weren't really sparked until I see that class or something, or I never thought to get on YouTube and learn how to do this, or ask somebody that I camp with, hey, do you know how to make this? So it's a really awesome time, and it's not even about supporting one side or the other, or I think a lot of people are kind of are turned off to certain things, because they don't live close by or they've never done anything with this group of people. And, you know, for me, I want to go to everything I can. Like, if I have the time off and the gas money to get there, I want to go. I mean, anywhere. And that's just my mindset. I don't, I want to meet as many people as I can. And for me, like, I love having fun. I want to just have as much fun as I can. So, with the Pathfinder Gathering, you're meeting people from all kinds of different backgrounds. And this year was really cool, with Stefan and the Viking stuff like that. I would have never thought to look at that stuff, or think to look up things about that and the history of it. And it was just really cool. And kind of going back to, well, I don't know these people, or it's too far away. Like, I'm driving from Texas and it's 16 hours. I split it. I can't drive that in one shot. I can't do it. But I went last year, is my first year, and I didn't know a single person, not one person. All the only people that I knew were the instructors because of YouTube, and Dave from YouTube. Like, I didn't know anybody, and I made the trip last year by myself, and I now have lifelong friends that asked me to come up for a whole week before the gathering and stay with them. So that's what you can kind of expect to happen if you open yourself up to it. If you're not closed-minded and you open yourself up to, I want to have fun. I want to learn as much as I can, because I'm telling you, for what you pay, like the $150 or whatever, the amount of classes and skills that you can learn there are unbelievable. And there's no requirements. Like, you don't have to do these certain things to get this or earn that. Like, you just go if you want to go. There were literally people there, I've seen, that just hang out by their tent the whole time and they never go to any of the classes. But their other friends are there, and that's kind of like their once a year get together. So you can do all of that. You don't, there's structure, but there's options. So But anyways, enough of that. I just wanted to kind of go over some of the stuff that I came back with, and not all of it was stuff that that I bought, and not all of it was stuff that I was given. So it's just kind of cool. You never know what's going to happen. But like I said, I try to make sure that I'm going to be there at the gathering, just because the first year I went was just such an eye-opening, awesome experience for me that I was like, there's no way I can miss this. So what I do is, and I did it last year, and I've already started doing it again this year, as soon as I get back from the gathering, I start saving up for the next one. I've already got money saved up for next year. This is my one big trip, vacation that I know I'm going to do. And because of that, I've got enough time, and it's serious enough for me that I'm going to save, because I want to be able to get there and have fun and not be stressed and worried about, you know, financial things. I plan it out because it's important to me. So this is kind of a good amount of stuff, but it's from a year of saving and not just blowing $30, $40, you know, every weekend or every other weekend on Amazon stuff or whatever. So right off the bat, some things that I was either made or that I was given. Tony Daniel, that is one of the most awesome men that I've met that's in this community. He just has such a heart and a passion for all of this, and you see him around the kids, and it's so inspiring. You know, it's so inspiring that there's somebody that can lead these kids every year. But regardless, he gave a broom making class, and we were able to pick, I think it's Broom's Hedge, what colors we wanted, and I just grabbed the all black. I thought it would look cool, and then you were able to make this broom. And I want to say that Dave is going to be doing a video on this, because it was just such a hit. You know, like, it's one of those things I never would have thought to learn how to do this, but it's easy, it's simple, and it was a lot of fun, you know, and it didn't take forever. And so, you know, it was really cool. I was really impressed with this, and it actually is a functioning hand broom. So that was something cool. And then while I'm talking about Tony, I was talking to him about pine tar, and he had this jar, and I was like, here, just take this, you know, a whole jar of pine tar that he made. I've got to learn more about this and what I can and can't do with it, but I have it now, so I can get dirty and get my hands on it and figure some stuff out. But I mean, that was super cool. Like, you know, two awesome things. One that I made that was, you know, showed me how, you know, one of the classes, and then a jar of pine tar, you know. And then this huge hunk of chaga. This is a really good size. I got this on the trade blanket from George Wells. I had originally brought some stuff up that I was gonna, you know, give or trade to some of the guys there, and one of the things I had was a rattlesnake skin, and it didn't work out for what we were wanting to do with it. And so I asked George, hey, I want that chunk of chaga. I can get a snake skin, no problem, and you can get that, no problem, so let's swap. So he was kind enough to do that, and I hope he can enjoy what he got. But, you know, that was awesome. And that was something really cool that I did this year that I didn't really do as much last year. In the video I'm going to be putting out, showing you on my way, because I stayed in Jackson, Ohio the week before. There's tons of crap in my Jeep, and yeah, a lot of it was firewood that I had to like stack stuff around or on top of. But I also brought one huge tub and a 5-gallon bucket of stuff that I wanted to do for the trade blanket. So one night during the gathering, they have a trade blanket night, and it's like an hour, 2 hours long, and it's after all the classes are over and after dinner, and you just set your stuff up on picnic tables and you just walk around, and you can either sell or trade. Well, I had no idea that all these rocks that I found here in Texas were going to be such a big hit. I've got 3 or 4 little sweet spots that I go and collect pieces of chert. You know, none of it's English flint, like the really heavy duty good stuff, but it's all like Texas chert or stuff with a lot of granite or quartz in it. And you know, I'd been playing around like trying to break pieces off for myself and whatever, and just over time being frustrated and going through countless rocks trying to figure this stuff out, I had a bucket. And so I was like, I'll bring that, and you know, maybe I can trade for some cool stuff. And that stuff was like candy. It was awesome. I was really, really impressed, and I'm really thankful for all the people that bought, you know, the chert from me. And I brought a big thing of a big thing of fat wood that I got from Arkansas from my sister's property. And you know, it was just selling like hotcakes. And Larry was Larry and George and some of the others were just giving me a hard time because, I mean, I was wheeling and dealing, man. I was in it. I was being the salesman and just striking my steel against it, and sparks were going everywhere, and people's eyes were just lit up, like, you know, gravitating towards it. It was so funny. And you know, that was something I didn't really do that much of last year, and so it was really cool to be able to experience that, you know. And I know next year I need to bring 10 gallons because I went through all of those rocks that I had in that 5-gallon bucket. Now, I mean, I gave some away to some friends and stuff, but it was pretty fun. So, all right. Now, one last thing. So, this was paid for by food, by dinner one night. These are handmade Whoopie Slings. They're in a gray color. It's Amstel, and I think that they're about 9 feet when you stretch them out. And the cool thing about these is Larry Roberts and George Wells did a class, and right before the class, you know, George and I have talked before about hammock camping and all that, and when we were there, you know, we had talked, and so, you know, I asked him if he would mind me setting up a couple of the hammocks that I had with me that were completely different than the one he was going to be using for the class, because people need to see that stuff. When I was in the market first to get a hammock, and I haven't been doing it super long, but when I was first in the market to get a hammock, there wasn't anywhere that I could go to try it out or to see how hard is it to set up, or what does it look like, or how does it lay if I get in it. So, you know, we both were like, man, that's a really good idea. And George was like, heck yeah, let's do it. So I set up my Hennessy, and I set up the new hammock I got from JB's Outdoor Supply, and it was really cool, really cool. The fact that we had 3 different kinds of hammocks with 3 different suspension systems, and people could ask questions and get hands-on, and like Larry said, that it took 2 whistles for the instructors to get everybody corralled back under the pavilion, because we were kind of off in this little field area. But yeah, it was really cool. George was kind enough to kind of let me say some stuff about where I am and how my hammock camping is different here in Texas, as opposed to where he is up north, kind of towards the end of the class. But I got to talking to one of my buddies that I met at the gathering last year. His name's Roy Cunningham, and he said that he had stuff there to make Whoopie Slings, that he had Amstel and his tools, and that he knows how. So I was like, man, what would it take for me to, you know, get some of those? I've never played with them. I didn't even have a clue how they worked. I mean, I see these like magic ropes on YouTube videos where people are just pulling, and then all of a sudden they stick, and there's no carabiners or ascending rings or anything, and I had no idea how these dang things work. And it was the coolest thing seeing him make these. You know, he had a little group gathered around him watching them, and it was the coolest thing seeing these things made. And he told me, just feed me a good dinner tonight, because we were planning on cooking all the meat that we had left over, and so he made me some Whoopie Slings, and man, thank you. Like, that's awesome. I can't wait to try these out. I'm gonna figure out how to use these things and try them out. All right, so I've been blabbering a whole lot. I'll just kind of speed through this stuff. When I was on the kayak trip, I had my 30-liter dry bag from the Pathfinder store. Man, that thing was awesome. It's just, you know, I don't own any sea line bags, but as far as I know, they're pretty comparable. So I went ahead and got a couple more. I got the 10-liter and the 5-liter. Now, I'm not going to open it up, but John Gandy informed me that the 5 liters are perfect for your cook kits. That a bush pot and an MSR Seagull will both fit in here. So I was like, heck yeah. He showed me that that's what he does with his, and it works. I mean, it works perfect. I've got a whole cook kit here with the strap. So I picked up a couple of those dry bags. I picked up a bottle bag from the store because I wanted to be able to attach it to some of the stuff now that I have that's got molly webbing. And these are their newer ones that are bigger. So you're able to put, you know, an alcohol stove at the bottom, or an extra cup, or even the 40-ounce clean canteen bottle. So I've got one of those, and it does fit in here. And then I guess I'll get to the good stuff. Sorry, my throat's really dry. So, of course, I had to pick up some knives. Blind horse knives were there for about 4 days. And when I go to a gun show or a knife show or anything like this, where I can actually hands-on, you know, pick up a blade or a gun or whatever, or the store, like I can hands-on pick this stuff up, it's very dangerous for me because that means a lot to me, being able to see it and pick it up in person, and I will literally convince myself that I need it. And like I said, I save up for a year. I save up my money for a year for this trip. So, you know, it's not like I was worried that I wasn't going to get home, because I had the cash with me to do it. So I walked by the Blind Horse knife table probably 3 times a day for the first 3 days, and picked up these 2 knives at least 15, 20 times each time. I mean, it was ridiculous. And so my theory is, if I've picked up a knife or a gun more than 10 times, I should buy it. There's a reason why I keep picking it up and nothing else. So I really was interested and have been wanting to hold and pick up a bushcrafter, whether it's a Blind Horse knives, an LT Wrights, a Battle Horse knives. I just realized I was saying Blind Horse the whole time, wasn't I? Battle Horse knife table. It was the Battle Horse knife table. So anyways, I was really wanting to hold one of these, and man, it's got everything you would love about the Genesis, and a little bit, it's just different. The finger groove here is fantastic. So I picked this knife up. It's the Bushcrafter, and it's in natural micarta, bead blasted. I wanted something bead blasted that was just in a plain color, because I want this to be a workhorse or a utility knife, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So of course, looking at this thing and picking it up, I started looking at, well, what's similar to it? And I kept picking this up. Now, I forget the name that he told me that this was. I'll have to ask somebody later on Facebook, but it's a knife that is not in production right now, and it used to be. They used to make this all the time, and they aren't making them right now. And he said that, you know, it was one of their top sellers. and that they're considering starting to make it up again. So I just kept grabbing this one too. I really love the smaller knives like the Coyote and all that, but I just haven't had a chance to get my hands on them and and really use them. And they're just perfect for like a companion blade. And man, this thing is just wicked sharp. I mean, it's scary sharp. And I was like, you know what? This would be a great little brother to this knife. So eventually I want to get a Kydex rig to piggyback these onto. But those are the two knives I bought. I only bought two. So, I could have bought more, but I controlled myself. And then lastly, I didn't mean for this to go this long. I'll have to edit some stuff out for sure. But Daryl with Dragon Fire Tinderbox was there. Holy cow! That guy and his wife, Chrissy, I just knew her as Sassy Pants. They were unbelievable. I mean, just the greatest host and funnest people that you could meet. I mean, they were always asking, we're doing this tonight for dinner, or come over for breakfast, or we want to meet you, or it was just really awesome of them to do what they did. I mean, they had a really cool camp, really cool. And I walked through the whole thing and talked to Daryl all about it. And I really tried to spend some time with this guy because he started this stuff up not too terribly long ago, and I wanted him to kind of understand that this stuff's important to all of us, and that he really does have something here. I know there's a lot of people that just don't understand the concept of buying natural tinder, but I can tell you, Daryl is so picky and thorough with what he's doing with this that it would probably upset some people to the fact that he doesn't just grab whatever he sees and stuffs it in a sack. Like he literally goes through everything he picks, and if it's not up to his standards, he puts it aside, either for his personal use or I don't know, but he's not going to sell it to you. And I know that for a fact because he was showing me stuff that he hasn't packaged yet, or that he had in bulk, like his birch bark or his fat wood. And I mean, it was every single bit of it was top notch. And he knows this stuff. Like, he really does know this stuff. There was a couple of things that I had with me that I weren't sure what they were, or I didn't know if he had seen or used yet before, and that was cool. Like, I gave him some stuff to take back with him that's native here that he doesn't have where he is, and it's awesome. Like, even him going through and telling me about birch bark, and that you want to harvest it at a certain time. I think he said a year after the tree has fallen or has been dead, and you want to look for the bright orange color on the underside of the birch bark, because that's the best. That has the most oils in it. Like, I had no idea about that, and I'm sure people do, but like, this is his job. He takes this stuff serious, and whenever you buy something from him, you're supporting him. You're not supporting some huge company, big box company that money's just getting thrown around. Like, that's going right back into him spending hours in the woods, and I'm not a salesman for him. I'm just a friend for him now. Like, I met him and got to know him and talk to him about all kinds of stuff and shared personal stories, and I can just see his passion for this and that he really believes in it, and just like what I did on the video with JB's Outdoor Supply, like, the fact that company is a family-owned company. This is a family-owned company. The fact that those people, spend their sweat and time stitching hammocks. He spends his sweat and time looking for this stuff. That adds value to this for me. And it's just great. I mean, it's all great stuff. And you know, I bought some of this from him, and he went above and beyond, like, you know, sending me home with other stuff too. And it's just, it's awesome. I really wanted to buy this. This was I wanted this for the tin, but this was something he made just for the Pathfinder Gathering. And I'm going to go over all this stuff with you. I have opened this up, and I just couldn't resist it and got everything out of here, and it was kind of hard to pack it all back in. So props to you, Terrell, for being able to pack this stuff in here. But this is essentially a dump this out, light it, and leave tinder kit, where you can leave and go get more wood or whatever. I mean, this has everything you need in here to get us this sustainable fire going. It's not just a little flash tinder that you got to pile a bunch of stuff onto. This is a fire. So that was really cool. I want to say he compared it to his extreme pouch, but and then I wanted to try this out. This was what he calls his fireball, and this is a surefire starter. I opened this up too. It's got a bunch of really good fat wood shavings and sawdust, and it looks like some hardwood mixed in here too, so to kind of give you some burn time. But then it's all based upon this little ball that he's rolled up with birch bark and jute twine that looks like it's covered in some kind of pine sap or something, with all kinds of stuff on the inside. So this was really cool. Because I don't have access to chaga, this is kind of when I load up on it. So I got the big piece from George, and then I really liked what he had. So this was his chaga tea packages, and it's really cool because he gives you already really good pieces. So he, you know, he told me that he only puts the best pieces of chaga in these for tea. And, you know, he was kind enough to put a little bit more in there. I mean, the guys, they stand out. Him and his wife both are just great people. And then I wanted to try his first aid balm. I really like balms. I really, you know, I always have cuts and scrapes on my hands from work. And I really like trying out different balms and salves. And this one, I got it because it's got stuff in here that is not typical of what balms I've seen or what balms I've made myself. You know, it's got safflower oil with St. John's wort and comfrey leaves. Like, I'm not sure what all that is. I'll have to look into it, but I wanted to try that out. And then he also was kind enough to give me his Woodsman's blend of it's another balm I guess you can use for dry hands or cracked lips or whatever, but it's also got some beeswax, and it smells really good, like cedar. So this is all the stuff that I came home with. I mean, I've got some other stuff that I'll be using and whatever that I didn't necessarily buy or get in the trade, but I just wanted to share that stuff with you. The people that were there are awesome. All the instructors, thank you for everything you did and everything you taught us and taught me. Everyone at Battle Horse Knives, I apologize for saying Blind Horse earlier. It's an old habit, but everyone at Battle Horse Knives were just amazing, really fun people to talk to and hang out with and meet. Daryl and Chrissy, you're great people. Thank you so much for everything you did for me and for our friends and all the hospitality you showed us. And please try to make it next year. I would love to meet more people and have even more fun. I'm telling you, you won't regret it. So I apologize for this going so long, but enjoy the clips and some of the videos and stuff from the gathering, and thanks for watching, guys.